welcome to the NetReg Spill awareness video for the whisky sector. I'm Maura Garden, Head of Sustainability and Innovation at the Scotch Whisky Association, and we're the trade body for the Scotch whisky industry. Our membership accounts for around 95% of the sector, and our aims are to create conditions for long-term growth worldwide and secure Scotch's place as the leading high-quality spirit drink. The aim of this video is to provide a refresher to those in the Scotch whisky industry who may have to deal with a possible spill at one of our production sites. We also hope it will be an invaluable part of the company's induction programme for new starts. It is important that our members in the wider Scotch whisky industry consider the materials that they hold at their sites and how they are stored. Also to consider the impacts that these materials may have on the environment and the simple actions needed to protect the environment in the unlikely event of a spill. At the end of the session, we hope you'll have an appropriate knowledge on how to effectively deal with a spill at your site and help protect the local environment. This video will provide helpful information on the main types of drainage systems, how to prevent spills, and the key actions to take in the event of a spill to protect the environment.
Companies should understand their premises and how their activities could affect the environment and cause pollution. It's important for companies to think about the main pollution risk they have at their site and to think about them in terms of a source, a pathway and a receptor. A site can only cause harm to the environment if all three of these things are present. A source, that could be a material store or a tank or some pipework. There's a pathway, which could be a drain. It could be unmade ground, or it could even be the wind. And a receptor, which in most cases is the water environment. Companies should put in place measures to break the links or weaken the links between these. By doing this, you'll be able to prevent or reduce the likelihood of pollution and reduce the impact of any problems which might occur. In order to reduce the risk of pollution from your site, you should have a good working knowledge of your drainage systems. There are two types. Combined drainage systems have a single drain that carries both foul and surface water to a wastewater treatment works. Separate drainage systems have two drains, one for foul water and another for surface water. The foul water drains, which are colour-coded red, carry polluted water such as trade effluent to a treatment plant. The surface water drain, colour-coded blue, should only carry uncontaminated rainwater as it goes directly into a watercourse. Other substances must never deliberately be put down a surface drain. When an incident occurs, it must be contained to prevent it escaping to the surface water drain. Any spill that escapes into a surface drain might cause damage to the environment and your company could be prosecuted. Although protecting the surface water drains is top priority, it's also important to protect effluent drains, as the spilled material could have an impact on the effluent system. For example, diesel could kill the biomass at the site treatment plant and make you exceed your discharge limits. If a pollution incident does occur, contact the pollution hotline on 0800 80 70 60 immediately to report it. If you want to discharge anything other than clean, uncontaminated water into a surface water drain or directly into surface water or groundwater, you must have an authorisation from your environmental regulator. In Scotland, that would mean SEPA. This would be necessary, for example, for a large car park or perhaps delivery areas where there's a risk of contamination. If your business discharges trade effluent to a public sewer, you must have a valid trade effluent consent from your water and sewerage company. Preventing spills. There are simple precautions that you can take to prevent spills, such as using the correct equipment for the job, ensuring regular maintenance and inspection of all plant and equipment, conducting pre-use checks on equipment, reporting faulty equipment for repair and removing it from use, Carrying out tasks as per safe working procedures and your training, staying alert, avoiding distractions and being aware of your working environment, and challenging unsafe conditions or behaviours. There are also engineering controls such as high and high level alarms, self-closing valves, interlocking systems and bunds. However, when a preventative measure fails, spillages can occur, so let's look at responding to a spill. Types of spills. There are 3 types of spills we could encounter on sites. First one, non-moving. That could be cold, heavy fuel oil or draff. Second one, moving, such as process liquids, for example wash, spent lees, pot ale or caustic. And the third one would be pressurised. That could be process liquids under pressure. How you react to a spill depends on 3 things. Firstly, can you identify what substance has been spilled? Consider your surroundings. Can you identify the source? Remember, the substance may not come from the immediate vicinity. Don't make assumptions. Secondly, is it safe to respond to the spill? Assess the hazards to you and to others. Is the substance hot? Is there a risk of fire or explosion? Is the substance or vapours corrosive? Is the volume too large? Thirdly, are you wearing the correct PPE for the substance and the hazards you've identified? For example, gloves, goggles, visor or Wellington boots. If the answer to any of these assessments is no, you should protect any accessible drains, cordon off approaches and get help. Above all, never place yourself at risk. If you know what the substance is, you decide that you can safely tackle the spill and you're wearing the correct PPE, then proceed safely to protect drains, isolate the source of the spill, cordon off the approaches and get additional help, contain the spill, recover the spilled substance, ensure site management are notified to allow onward management and reporting of the incident. After the incident, remember to organise the correct disposal of any used or contaminated spill kit or spilled substance, and don't forget to replenish the spill kit. To stop the substance entering a drain, you could use one of the following methods to protect it: clay drain mats, absorbent socks. Clay drain mats are designed to instantly seal drains to prevent spilled substances flowing into them. Due to their flexibility, they can easily plug misshapen drains and deal with uneven surfaces. The mats are treated to prevent mould growth and have anti-freeze properties, so it remains flexible down to -20 degrees centigrade. The mats are commonly used by the emergency services as the first line of pollution defence and are easy to use and quick to deploy. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions. These are likely to be: remove the mat from the protective bag, peel off the plastic sheet from the underside, place the mat on the drain with the sticky side down, and tread on the mat to ensure a complete contact with the drain. Absorbent socks are designed for use with different substances. Prior to use, you must make sure that the sock is suitable for the substance that's been spilled. They will be clearly marked and colour-coded. Use of the incorrect sock at this point could result in the drain remaining unprotected. Their small size makes them better suited for deployment on land spillages. Socks have a multi-purpose usage to uplift free substance, ideally suited for containing minor spillages, and can be placed around leaking drums, intermediate bulk containers, tanks and machinery. Following the manufacturer's instructions, use socks to form a temporary bund. If 2 or more socks are being used in continuous length, then they must be overlapped by approximately 30 centimetres to ensure a complete seal is formed. The initial barrier row should never be removed. Additional socks must be placed at the back of the initial bund with the joints staggered until the spill is contained and then cleaned up. It may be possible to isolate the source of the spill. Consider the use of an emergency stop button or closing a valve, either manually or on the control system. Another method of stopping a small leak would be the use of clay plugging slabs. These are designed to instantly seal leaking drums, pipes and small tanks, stopping the spillage at the source. They are made from the same substance as the clay drain mats. You should always follow the manufacturer's instructions when you deploy them. Consider cordoning off the area. This may be done using hazard warning tape and/or cones. It may not always be necessary to do this. If required, seek assistance from any relevant persons. To contain the spill, you should use one or more of the following methods. 1. You could use absorbent socks. Absorbent socks contain a spill by being used to form a temporary bund, as shown previously. Absorbent cushions or pillows. Similar to when using absorbent socks, prior to use you must check that the cushion is suitable for the substance spilled. They will be clearly marked and colour-coded. Use of the incorrect cushion at this point could result in the spill not being contained. A single cushion absorbs up to 15 times more substance than a single pad, making it more appropriate for larger spills. They're ideally suited to place under leaking equipment. With ropes attached, cushions can be lowered into drainage gullies, sumps, wells and deeper chambers. They must never be forced down a drain or pipe. Thirdly, absorbent pads or mats. Similar to socks and cushions, absorbent pads are substance specific. They are easily deployed but will absorb less than socks and cushions. To recover the spilled substance, you could use one or more of the following methods. Firstly, absorbent pads and mats. Before using absorbent mats or pads, you must check that the pad is suitable for the substance that's been spilled. They will be clearly marked and colour-coded. If you use the incorrect pad at this point, it could restrict the cleanup. They are easily deployed and can be used to wipe contaminated surfaces. Secondly, absorbent granules. Absorbent granules can be spread over the last evidence of a spill for final absorbance. Again, the granules are substance specific and should be used in line with the manufacturer's instructions. If these mitigation measures could not be employed, or are employed but don't work properly, they're compromised and it's possible that the spilled substance may reach a red effluent drain, you should contact your manager or duty manager so that arrangements can be made to stop the spilled substance having an impact on the effluent treatment facilities. Similarly, if the mitigation measures can't be employed or are employed but compromised, and it is possible that the spilled substance may reach a blue surface water drain, you should contact the pollution hotline 0800 80 70 60 to report the incident and inform any relevant persons. Following any type of spillage incidents, it's vital that management are notified. They need to complete the necessary reporting and investigation process. This allows incident statistics to be gathered and reported, the root cause to be identified, and actions to be completed to prevent recurrence. Technical specialists may also need to get involved. Once the spill event is over, it is important to effectively clear up the spilled substance and the used contaminated spill kit. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for bagging and disposal. Remember, absorbents may require to be double bagged due to their increased weight. Used spill kits are usually classed as special waste and should be stored appropriately until uplifted by a suitable contractor. For further details on disposing of special waste, see NetRegs. The spill kit should be replenished as soon as possible and secured, for example with a plastic seal. Spill kits must be maintained and be fit for use at all times. Checks and audits must be carried out. If the security seal on a kit is broken, notify the relevant person.